Oh, hi, Luna. I'm glad you got the dog this time. The last thing you said was, and I thought this was really cool, and you're talking about your hearing aids and trouble getting the help you needed. And then you said people let their guard down because they thought it was stupid. And then your other comment was that you've learned a lot because listening is easy because speaking is hard.
Luna, do you know who this is? See? Luna, come here.
I love those eyebrows. I love those eyebrows. They look like they're painted.
Yeah. She's okay. Well, Luna, technology in function of us.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to get busy. That's what's going to be happening on this week. And I don't want the bad guys to be um, in control. But once they find out that we're new to the producing game, who knows whether or not they'll figure out a way for people to teach me. That's what I do. That's what I do all the time whenever I'm communicating with somebody. So it's worked very well because I've done it a long time. Cool.
Okay, so I have my assignment, right?
Very good.
And I will let you know how far I get. How's that?
That'd be great.
Okay, you guys have a good time. And
Okay.
I'll go back to work at the kitchen.
Okay. Good to see you again.
Okay, bye.
All right.
And it may be true of others, but it's especially true of me that I really am orally driven. It's like the master control in here.
And so when you don't have that from being hard of hearing, it is a real stressor.
A mood change rather than a sound change. So
it's a form of sensory deprivation. People don't do well with sensory deprivation.
Learning abstract concepts about a mind, namely my mind, is not the same thing as doing it.
So you're saying experiencing things in your mind is not the same as describing it or explaining it?
Folks that potentially I could collaborate with. It turns out that they don't want to go there. Whether it's boredom or not feeling that politics are right, to thinking that I'm full of shit, or a whole spectrum of things. And as is my habit, I sit there and worry about all of them. But then I observe myself worrying about worrying. And negative recursion. Maybe I don't want to do that anymore. It was hard out in the woods because I couldn't go very fast. But I loved it out there. I was so proud because of the beautiful females that I was with, that I just sucked it all in with my senses rather than my ability to athletically pursue that great environment.
So let's go back about what you just said and how that relates to your previous thought about worrying. And then you shifted into taking your walk in the forest, but being really open to all the senses of it and not being so concerned about the athletics of the walking, but just enjoying the sensory input from being there. So is that a corollary to how you're looking at the way you used to worry about worries?
The first time I went into the emergency room with heart trouble was in that exact place. But I was alone. And I was trying to be athletic because, I had these muscles, and I didn't like the idea that I couldn't do it because, as I learned, my heart was bothering me. It's going, bah, Buzz, don't do this. No. And sure enough, I went to the emergency room. They said I had a heart attack. And here I was in the best shape ever. That was 1991. And yet yesterday I was more comfortable than they were, the dog and my wife. And I was cool, and I was smiling, sort of dancing on the head of death. Yeah, now I see what death means to me. It means that I ought to get it on, or time will not run out.
So it sounds like you're appreciating every moment much more now than you ever have. So what is your next step then?
Well, let's see what's in the magic bag of tricks. There's this, and this, and
Black box.
yeah. And wow, there's just this is no. Oh no, it's way at the bottom. But anyway, in case I run out of suspenseful stuff to introduce, I have a place to put them. Now, see how much suspense there is in me doing this without describing what it actually was in detail. Well, it turns out that this is, this is what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
My hearing aids. And there's lots of cool stuff in here, right?
Yeah.
But, and to a degree, that's true that is going to be an element of suspense. But it's much bigger in the viewer's imagination if the words are chosen carefully.
So you have a lot of footage now, a lot of footage since January, February, and I don't know how you're indexing it, or you're just keeping it by the title of the clips that you're showing me, but I wonder.
Mostly it's in Final Cut Pro.
Okay.
And then there's all different ways of managing content, but it's all there.
Good.
So now, even though I didn't forecast a camera time, I can go back and pick up on things and pick up on my chain of thought in my brain because of the aid of this tool called Final Cut Pro.
Good. Because I just didn't want the content to be so big and unmanageable that you couldn't go and find the parts that you wanted very easily.
I don't know how useful it would be to others with brain injuries, but I would sure like to talk to anybody that has a brain injury that is interested in how we can use brand new computers and applications to really build back meaningful new. In the meaningful new in the injured brain.
New what?
Something is lost, but it's making room for something that is new. And it could be, at least in my experience, very happiness inducing.
I think that's a very significant observation that could be very helpful to people. And so keep that as something in mind to do with this project you're doing. And, I can help you connect with people in the head injury and stroke groups to, pursue that.
There might be other people that where let's say they had a stroke and were in the tech industry, high performance before, but afterwards could use collaborators with this kind of experience, like stroke-induced aphasia, have a new perspective based on your experience, where you say, "Oh, I get to play a little bit of God," and go in there and say, "Well, I'm gonna start over again, and I've got a whole lot of fun building blocks to play with."
Good. So this piece today of this last few minutes could be on the topic of the building a new life or a new experience or a new personal sense of being after an aphasic stroke by means of the technology you're using and the communication that we're having. Nanu, nanu.